Your pet's secret superpower explained. What if I told you that your pet is living in a world you can't see, hearing sounds you can't imagine, and sensing forces you've never felt? No, this isn't about ghosts or psychics. The real science behind your pet's sixth sense is way stranger than any spooky story. Over the next few minutes, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible worlds that animals perceive every single day. When you realize just how superior some animal senses are to ours, you almost have to wonder how humans ever made it to the top of the food chain. We rely almost entirely on our eyesight, but for the rest of the animal kingdom, that's just the starting point. There's a whole universe of sensations that animals are tuned into, while we humans are just blissfully unaware. Has your dog ever started barking at a corner that looks completely empty? Or has your cat ever stared, totally fixated, at something you couldn't see? For centuries, we've chalked these moments up to folklore and ghost stories. But science offers a far more mind-blowing explanation. These aren't paranormal events. They're glimpses into a reality that exists just beyond the limits of our senses. Let's start with man's best friend. Section 1. The dog's world of scent and sound. We think we know our dogs, right? But we have no idea what it's really like inside their heads. Their world is built not on sight, but on a symphony of scent and sound that we can barely even comprehend. First, let's talk about hearing. You might be listening to this in what you think is a quiet room, but to your dog, that same room is practically buzzing with noise. Humans can typically hear frequencies between 20 and 20,000 hertz. A dog's hearing, however, goes way beyond that, up to 45,000 hertz, and for some breeds, even as high as 65,000 hertz. This means they can hear the high-frequency squeaks of mice, the hum of your electronics, and other ultrasonic sounds that are totally silent to us. So when your dog suddenly perks up and barks at nothing, it might actually be hearing the high-pitched whine of a gadget across the street. Their ears, which can move independently, also let them pinpoint the source of a sound with incredible accuracy, far better than our own. But as amazing as their hearing is, it's nothing compared to their sense of smell. A dog's nose is a biological masterpiece. While we have about 6 million scent receptors in our noses, a dog can have up to 300 million. And the part of their brain that processes all that smelly information, it's about 40 times larger than ours. This gives them a sense of smell that's estimated to be anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000 times sharper than ours. Let that sink in. When you walk into a kitchen, you might smell soup. A dog walks in and smells the carrots, the chicken, the celery, the parsley, every single ingredient. They even have a special scent tool called the Jacobson's organ, which lets them detect pheromones and other chemical signals. This is how they can read another dog's entire life story with a quick sniff. Are they friendly, scared, or ready to find a partner? It's also how they can sense your emotions, like fear or anxiety, just by smelling the subtle chemical changes in your sweat. This is the real secret behind why your dog seems to know you're on your way home, catching your unique scent on the breeze long before you even turn onto your street. Section 2. The cat's vision, seeing the unseen. Now let's turn to our feline friends. Cats are famously mysterious, and a lot of that is because of their extraordinary eyes. They glide through the dark with impossible grace and often fixate on empty spots, making people wonder if they're seeing ghosts. The truth is, they can see things that are invisible to us, but it's not supernatural. It's ultraviolet. A study in the Proceedings of the Royal Society B revealed that cats, dogs, and some other animals can see ultraviolet light. Our eyes have a lens that blocks UV, but a cat's lens doesn't. This means they see a world filled with hidden patterns we're completely blind to. For instance, many flowers have UV nectar guides for bees, and rodent urine trails glow in UV light. So when your cat is staring intently at a blank wall, it might actually be captivated by a complex UV pattern left by a spider or the glowing trail of a mouse. And then there's their legendary night vision. No, cats can't see in total darkness, but they only need about 1/6 of the light that we do. This is because their eyes are packed with light-detecting rod cells. Plus, their pupils can dilate into massive circles, letting in every last possible photon of light. But their biggest advantage is a tiny, mirror-like layer behind their retina called the tapetum lucidum. This layer bounces light back through the retina, basically giving their eyes a second chance to capture it. The tapetum lucidum is what causes that spooky, glowing eye shine in photos. It's also the key to them being such deadly hunters at dawn and dusk, allowing them to spot the faintest twitch of a mouse's tail in near total darkness. We are just scratching the surface here. If you're enjoying this peek into the unseen world of animals, do us a quick favor and hit that like button. And make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, so you don't miss our next deep dive into the weirdest corners of science. Section 3. The Avian Compass, Navigating with Quantum Physics. For our next superpower, let's look up. Ever wonder how a tiny bird, like a European robin, can migrate thousands of miles with pinpoint accuracy year after year? They don't have Google Maps. They have something way more bizarre, a built-in compass that might actually tap into quantum mechanics. This is the power of magnetoreception, the ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field. While we need a compass to find north, many birds can literally see it. The leading theory is one of the most mind-bending ideas in biology. It suggests that when a certain type of light enters a bird's eye, it hits a protein called cryptochrome. This creates a pair of molecules with quantum-entangled electrons. Think of these electrons as microscopic spinning magnets. Their quantum state is super-sensitive to the direction of magnetic fields. Depending on which way the bird is facing, the Earth's magnetic field changes how these electrons behave, which in turn affects the signals sent to the bird's brain. The result is that the bird may actually see the magnetic field as a visual pattern laid over the world, giving it an unfailing sense of direction. This isn't just another sense. It's a direct link between the quantum world and the biological one. A superpower that lets a tiny songbird cross entire continents. Section 4. The world of water and electricity. Let's dive under the surface for our next couple of senses, which sound like they belong in a comic book. Many aquatic animals, from your pet goldfish to a great white shark, have a sense that's like being able to touch things all over their body without actually making contact. It's all thanks to the lateral line, a system of sensory organs running along the sides of a fish's body. It's a canal filled with tiny, hair-like cells that are incredibly sensitive to vibrations and water pressure. The lateral line lets a fish build a 3D feel map of its surroundings. It can detect the subtle ripple of a predator sneaking up from behind, or the vibrations of a struggling bug on the water's surface. This is how fish can hunt and navigate in murky water or total darkness, essentially seeing with the sides of their bodies. But some aquatic animals take this a step further, into the realm of electroreception, the ability to detect electric fields. Every living thing generates a weak electric field from its nerves and muscles. Sharks use special organs called the ampullae of Lorenzini to sense the faint electrical pulses of their prey, even a fish hiding under the sand. And then you have weakly electric fish, which have basically weaponized this sense. They generate their own electric field. When anything enters that field, it creates an electric shadow. By sensing these shadows on their skin, the fish can navigate, find food, and even communicate, all in complete darkness. It's basically sonar, but with electricity instead of sound. Section 5. The snake's thermal vision. Our final superpower is straight out of a sci-fi movie, seeing in thermal infrared. For snakes like pit vipers, pythons, and boas, the world isn't just a picture of light and color. It's also a thermal image of heat. These snakes have special structures called pit organs, located between their eyes and nostrils. Inside each pit is a thin membrane packed with nerve receptors that act like an infrared antenna. This membrane is so ridiculously sensitive that a rattlesnake can detect a temperature difference as small as 0.003 degrees Celsius. When a warm-blooded animal like a mouse gets close, it gives off body heat, also known as infrared radiation. This heat warms the membrane in the snake's pits, which sends nerve signals to the brain. The brain then fuses this heat data with the visual information from its eyes. The result? A combined image with a heat map laid right over its normal vision. This allows the snake to see the glowing heat signature of its prey with stunning accuracy, even in pitch-black darkness. It's an evolutionary cheat code that turns their prey's own body heat into a bullseye. Conclusion. From a dog's world of scent to a bird's quantum compass, from a fish's electric sense to a snake's thermal vision, the world our animals experience is profoundly different and so much richer than our own. These aren't paranormal gifts. They are finely tuned biological instruments, perfected over millions of years of evolution. They're a powerful reminder that our human perception is just one narrow slice of a much bigger, more complex reality. The universe is humming with information that we are completely deaf and blind to. So the next time your pet seems to be reacting to something that isn't there, take a second. Don't just dismiss it. Instead, wonder. What invisible world are they tuned into? What secret superpower are they using right now? What do you think is the most incredible animal superpower? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.